happy Tuesday, everyone, and happy Election Day. I hope you all are staying dry out there because it was another warm and wet day. So the big question I'm sure a lot of people want to know, Joe, is when will this rain stop?
Yeah, well, the short answer is later tonight.
Oh, okay.
We've got quite a bit coming through still right now. I think, though, by maybe midnight, most of that will come to an end. And we are going to get back to a little bit of dry weather, Maya, coming up here, and the temperatures will cool down a little bit, too. So just to let things dry out a little bit.
Sure.
And I'll have a full look at that forecast, what to expect the rest of the weekend, the upcoming weekend, a little later.
All right. Thank you, Joe. And on this Election Day, we are keeping an eye on a lot of different races across our very important battleground state. One of the biggest races is the seat for the open U.S. Senate seat that was held by retiring Senator Debbie Stabenow. Now, Democratic U.S. Representative Alyssa Slotkin is facing Republican former Congressman Mike Rogers in this tight U.S. Senate battleground contest, and that could sway the balance of federal power. So we have reporters in Detroit at both candidates' election night watch parties. We'll start alphabetically with Mike Rogers' campaign party in Novi, and that's where our reporter Daniel Zivian is joining us live from now. So hey, Danny, how are things going down in Novi?
Things are going well, Maya. Thanks for having me on. I'm here in the lobby of the Suburban Collection Showplace. It's a mouthful. It's this ginormous convention center, and this party is actually barely going to make a dent in the building. But that's also because no one's really gotten here yet. Things are really kicking off at 7 o'clock. So it's been nice hanging out and really just meeting other journalists so far.
Danny, did the lights go off, or did we just lose your camera?
No, I'm here.
Oh, there you are. Okay, you're back.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I haven't seen anything change on my end, but this is a pretty dim lobby. It's mood lighting here.
So has anyone from Mike Rogers' campaign gotten there yet, or is it just still a lot of reporters like you mentioned earlier?
The campaign has been setting up, and those are the people I spoke to earlier today when I got here. And, I did ask them, well, first I asked if I could speak to the campaign manager, and that was not possible, so I was able to speak to the person I was talking to. But she said that the campaign was feeling good about things. They felt that they've left no stone unturned, knocked on every door, made every phone call. They're leaving it out they're leaving it out on the field, as they'd say. Done everything possible in the run-up to this election.
And it's only 6:30. The polls close at 8, so still a little while left until the polls are closed. Is that when you think Mike Rogers will actually come to the watch party?
Honestly, I was not able to they would not tell me where he is, currently. And of course, even if he shows up here for dinner, it's quite possible we wouldn't hear him speak up on the podium for a few hours, depending on what happens. So yeah, indeterminate on that. One thing to note is that this is also headquarters for Team Trump Michigan, as that's how they call it, Team Trump. But that's the broader Trump campaign here in the state. So the state GOP party chair, Pete Hoekstra, will be here as well tonight. That's my understanding, at least.
So far, just seems like everyone is still getting ready to go. Things are still getting set up. So not a whole lot of action at Novi just yet.
Not really, no. I've only just seen the first few people who appear to be invited supporters just trickling in through the main doors there.
Gotcha. Well, Danny, we, of course, will check in with you again tonight during our 11 o'clock newscast. Things will be a whole lot different by then, so we will talk to you then. But we are going to talk with Allie Baxter, who is at Alyssa Slotkin's campaign in Detroit, in just a minute or so. But I want to share kind of a nice, light election story. So there is a local poll worker who, if you do the math, was helping in the 1964 election when Lyndon Johnson defeated Barry Goldwater in that year's presidential race. So for 60 years, this is Joyce Tanner. She has helped things run smoothly during the election season at Kalkaska County's Oliver Township. She helps voters put their ballots into the tabulator. She gives people hugs, which some of us just need that on election day. And she says that somebody had first asked her to help with the election all those years ago, and she liked it, so she just decided to keep on coming back.
A lot of the people that used to come and vote aren't here anymore, and there's a lot of new people, and a lot of younger ones are starting to vote more.
And Joy says at this point she has no plans to retire from working at the polls. And for this year's election, she is on the clock until the polls close at 8 p.m. So we just heard from our reporter Daniel Zivian at the Mike Rogers campaign watch party. And I mentioned that Alyssa Slotkin's team, her campaign team, is also hosting a watch party in Detroit. And that's where we find our Allie Baxter, who has been there for a couple hours. Hi, Allie. How's it going?
It's going really well, Maya. We actually just got in. They started letting people in at 6, so things are a little bit crazy right now. I know Daniel's had quite a few hours where he is with the Rogers campaign already, but literally just got my press credentials, threw the gear down, and wanted to jump on Unscripted real quick. So things are still, there's a lot of action happening here, but it's really just with us media trying to get everything set up.
And you are at the Motor City Casino in Detroit?
Yes, we're at the Motor City Casino and Hotel, and we're specifically in the Soundboard Theater area.
Okay. And so you just got in, so you probably haven't had any time to actually talk with the Slotkin campaign yet.
No, not yet. They've been super helpful though and friendly, asking if we needed any help getting things set up in there, but that's kind of the extent we've been able to speak to them so far. We know that she's not currently here. Alyssa Slotkin is not here yet, which isn't super surprising, but just kind of seeing where she's been today. She's been at a lot of the polling locations meeting with people, so I wouldn't be surprised, since polls still haven't closed yet, she could still be out and about doing that.
And do you know who else will be at this watch party tonight? Any prominent Democratic figures?
Not that I've heard of yet, and we weren't really tipped off about if any of them will be here. I wouldn't be surprised, though. This is one of the bigger Democratic races in the state, so I wouldn't be surprised if we do see some pretty familiar faces here, but so far, it's really just media and staff here now, thus far.
And I don't know if this is even worth it, Allie, but would you want to flip your camera and kind of show us, what the scene is looking like?
Yeah, you know what? I'm in the hallway right now, but I'll take you with me. Here's a little, this is very behind the scenes right now. I'll just show you real quick because it's very loud in here. All right. So this is kind of what we're working with here. Our spot is over here in the corner. So this is kind of where the media sees. That's where the stage is up there. So yeah, that is a little behind the scenes peek. It's really loud in here because they are playing NBC right now, seeing some of those early results coming in for the presidential election. But yeah, that's kind of a cool behind the scenes of what we're seeing as the media.
Yeah, well, thank you for showing that, Allie. Do you know what else you can expect tonight at that watch party?
Not yet, just because we're just getting inside tonight and just getting ourselves familiar with it. The campaign was a little bit tight-lipped in their releases about election night, but we know that Alyssa Slotkin is expected to be here, so hopefully she is making an appearance at some point and taking the stage. We know this is a very tight race, so we are looking forward to hearing from her.
Anything else you want to mention before we let you go?
Not yet. Just stay tuned because we'll keep you updated with all the results later.
Yes, we will check in with Allie and Danny tonight on UpNorthLive News at 11. So Allie, thanks so much for joining us, especially since she literally just got into the building and just got her press pass, so didn't have too much information yet. But it is still only 6:38. Again, the polls close at 8. So if you haven't voted yet, it is not too late. You still have about an hour and 20 minutes to vote. And kind of staying on the same path here with the election and with Election Day, many people are probably feeling a little antsy at this point. They just want to know who won their specific race that they're interested in or who won the presidential race. So some don't actually know how the races are called exactly. So here is Dee Dee Gatton to explain that process.
It's the biggest question you'll be asking on election night. Who won? You'll see races being called across different news outlets, social media, and here on the National News Desk. But we're going to walk you through why we use the Associated Press for official results. AP race calls are based on provable facts and data from state and local election offices across the U.S. The calls are never made based on campaign lobbying, news outlet announcements, or even victory speeches. As ballots are tabulated, votes are monitored at the county level. Simultaneously, the AP is determining how many ballots remain uncounted and from where. In most cases, races can be called before 100% of the vote is in. It's important to note that AP calls are not predictions or based on speculation. Vote results analysis and other election data helps declare one candidate as winner, meaning no others can overtake the winner once all votes are counted. voted. The AP may delay declaring a winner or decide not to call if results go against the expected outcome. It's a competitive race or the margins are too close. This is when you may hear phrases like too close to call or too early to call.
And let's turn things over to our question of the day. Do celebrity endorsements impact your voting decision? You can scan that QR code on your screen right now to vote. I'll tell you that as of right now, 408 people have voted and 96% say no. 4% say yes. So you can vote on our question of the day. You can also leave a comment on our stream right now or on our Facebook page. And we have a few comments on our Facebook post, and Marilyn's comment is the first one that comes up. I think it's a pretty interesting comment. She says, I think their influence will get more people to the polls, and that's what matters. Most of the other comments are saying no. Nope, they don't have the same experience that we do, so therefore they don't influence our decision. So yeah, like our results show, a lot of people are saying no, but that is a good point, that maybe they don't influence who you're going to vote for, but they could certainly encourage people to get out and vote. So we will continue to keep an eye on our live question of the day results. I'm going to sound like a broken record here, but I just want to remind everyone it's only 6:40, so the polls are still open, and we'll have much more election content tonight at 11 o'clock. We're going to hear again from Allie Baxter, who is with the Slotkin campaign, and Daniel Zivian, who is with the Mike Rogers campaign. And at that point, there could be a winner for the Senate seat. We don't know for sure, but we'll have a lot more information at that point, and we'll also have all the updates on local races, and we'll have a ticker at the bottom of our screen as well during the 11 o'clock show that will have updated election results. So be sure to tune in tonight on Up North Live News at 11 for much more election stories and results, and we'll also have all those results on our website, UpNorthLive.com. All right, let's take a quick commercial break, but we'll be back in just a few minutes, and we'll check back in with Chief Meteorologist Joe Charlevoix. He'll let us know when this rain is going to end and what the rest of the week is going to look like. Stay with us.
I'm Jada Johnson from Big Boys TV, and the Fish and Game Report is sponsored by Johnson's Propane.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, weather-wise, today was basically a repeat of yesterday. Another cloudy, rainy day and another warm one. We saw 60s again today. Pretty unseasonably warm, so that's kind of weird. But Joe, we know we need the rain, so that is not weird. However, it's not the most ideal when maybe you're heading outside, running to the polls last minute or running, to and from your car to get to work. So you said the rain should stop soon?
Yeah, I think a few more hours to go here, and then we'll kind of see the rain winding down. But, if you go back to last week, Maya, we had rain it's kind of like last week. We had a couple days of rain, and it was warm, remember? And same thing this week, but we're kind of in the last stages of this. We should see things drying out tomorrow, and then, through the end of the week. Let's go to our, we call them the quad boxes. You know why? Because there's 4. By the way, I've been watching our Mackinac City camera. It's been disappearing quickly. Wow. We have actually some thick fog there that has rolled in. Petoskey, just a damp, dreary night there. Same outside of our studios here near Traverse City. And, look at downtown Gaylord. Also, pretty wet out there as well. All this being driven by low pressure. There it is tonight, just inching near Green Bay. And then a front extends off of that. So if you're south of that front, where most of lower Michigan is, it's still warm. If you're north of that boundary, like up in the western UP, northern Wisconsin, it's noticeably cooler, and you can kind of tell where the front is because I'm going to draw the temperatures in here, and there it is. So look at Pellston, you're at 62, but then you jump to Newberry, it's 48. So that's kind of where that frontal boundary is located. By the way, look at Detroit right now, kind of showing off, 73. The temperature there, pretty warm, especially as you head downstate. Lansing, the state capital right now at 68. Here's a look at radar. Now, through the day today, we've had a fair amount of rain. There it is, pulling that up here, coming through. And then here's this last batch right there that is entering the picture. So we have a pretty steady rain right now from Ludington north up toward Traverse City, just getting into areas there around Clare. Gaylord, Grayling, seeing some rain. Charlevoix, starting to see a bit of rain. So all of us will get some of that steadier rain, but watch as time goes on here. That's right now. There's the rain. And then I'll stop this, let's go 1 a.m. The steady rain moves away, and then we have these showers behind it. So it could be a little damp tonight. Even tomorrow morning, it's going to be pretty cloudy, waking up early. A couple lingering showers right there, 5, 6, 7, 8 o'clock. But the steady rain will be done with. And gradually up north, as we get into the afternoon hours, you see the clock there, 5, 6 o'clock, we'll start seeing a little bit of sunshine trying to peek through. Then, here's what happens tomorrow night. Clearing skies. Thursday, look at that. Beautiful day. It'll be sunny. Lots of sunshine, pleasant, highs in the 50s. And then we'll take you out right through Friday. Same thing to close out the week. A couple clouds up there near Sault Ste. Marie, the St. Mary's River, but otherwise a nice stretch of weather upcoming there. So here's a look at our weekend forecast. Beyond that, both days low and mid 50s. There's not much of a temperature change this weekend, but we will see a gradual increase in clouds on Saturday. And then Sunday, some passing light rain showers. So if you're looking at the weekend, what's the better of the 2 days, maybe for raking the lawn, things like that? It'll probably be Saturday because I do have that chance for a little bit of rain in on Sunday. One other thing, look how remarkably similar our temperatures will be. Not a lot of change over the next week. And this is the time of the year, it could be 60, it could be 10. But we're looking at 50 to 56. So we're not looking at snow. It's going to stay too warm, but pretty consistent temperatures in the low and mid 50s upcoming here. There's the extended forecast, and this is what we're looking at across northern Michigan. Dry, pretty pleasant weather tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And I mentioned that chance of some showers coming in here on Sunday. That's the next chance for a little bit of rain. And then on Veterans Day, a lot of ceremonies going on, a few showers, mainly north, highs in the low and mid 50s next Monday. So all that steady rain, Maya, is heading out of here tonight, and then a couple nice days coming up to end the week.
Something to look forward to.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Joe. We're going to take another quick commercial break, but coming up in just a few minutes, we're going to bring in sports director Harrison Beebe. He'll walk us through some pretty exciting news for the Detroit Lions and give us a little sneak peek of what to expect in the college football playoff rankings release that will happen tonight. So stay with us. That's next. Welcome back, everyone. Well, the Detroit Lions made a trade today. And for more on that, let's bring in our sports director, Harrison Beebe, live from our content center. Harrison, what do you know about edge rusher Zadarius Smith?
Maya, I know he is no longer a Cleveland Brown, and he is officially a Detroit Lion. At least that's what's
about
being
all
reported.
I know, too.
And at the trade deadline was at 4 o'clock, so we assume that went through. And that's a good thing for Detroit Lions fans. You know, a few weeks ago when Aiden Hutchinson went down in that Dallas Cowboys game, I know a lot of people, you know, it's a very talented team all across the board, so losing one player doesn't exactly deter their Super Bowl potential by a large amount. But Aiden Hutchinson, having said that, is a big part of that defense, the best part of that defense, and arguably the second most important player on the team behind Jared Goff. So it was kind of critical, especially in this trade deadline time of the season, to find a replacement. And so they went with a guy that's pretty affordable, a veteran of the leagues, played 10 years, made a few Pro Bowls. He's 32. Zadarius Smith is an edge rusher that's, he was the second leading sack artist for the Cleveland Browns this year. So now he'll be on that Lions defensive line and hopefully making more of an impact, because there's been a notable difference in the sacks the Lions defense has recorded since Hutchinson went down a few weeks ago against the Cowboys. And it actually wasn't too bad. You can see on the big board here what the Lions gave up to get him. They gained a draft pick in 2026, but then they also gave up a few more in 2025 and 2026. But all things considered, for what I consider to be a half-year rental while they wait to get Hutch back for next year, a good move for Brad Holmes and company to bring in a guy to really bolster that defense now in this home stretch where the Lions, I looked again today, Maya, they are the second favorite of all the National Football League bettors-wise to win the Super Bowl, behind the reigning defending Kansas City Chiefs and the undefeated Kansas City Chiefs as well.
Yeah, they just can't seem to lose. We thought for a minute that the Buccaneers may have gotten them last night, but nope, we thought wrong.
Yeah, and a lot of people would like to see that matchup again. Of course, that was week 1 a year ago when the Lions went into Kansas City and won the opener to begin the 2023 season. So maybe that'll we get that rematch at the February meeting. I believe the Super Bowl is in New Orleans this year, so we'll have to see if it shakes out that way. But several months to go until then, but the Lions focusing on that defense already.
And do we know, will Zadarius Smith play this Sunday?
I have not heard word yet. For form of reference, the new New York Jets receiver that obviously got traded, Devontae Adams from the Raiders, he played a few days after he was traded.
Wow.
So there has been precedent that guys jump into a new lineup and play right away, but sometimes with physicals and signing off on the players, that might take a few more days, and just implementing them into the system really might take a few days. So we'll have to wait and see, but I'm sure at the very latest he'll play in the week's following game after the Texans this Sunday.
And I did kind of tease the college football playoff rankings release, but we don't have time for that, so I'm so
Hey, they're out
sorry.
at 7. If you want to switch to ESPN for a break from election coverage for a few minutes, they'll reveal those in just a few minutes on ESPN.
Perfect. All right, thanks, Harrison, so much for joining us. We're going to take another quick break, but we'll check back in with our question of the day and those live results in just a few minutes. Stick with us.
Salon services are furnished by Epiphany Advanced Academy in East Acme.
Our question of the day today, do celebrity endorsements impact your voting decision? If you haven't voted yet, you can still scan that QR code on your screen right now, but overwhelmingly, people are saying no. 96% say no, 4% say yes. This is an interesting thing because I wonder if this is how Northern Michigan people feel, if the whole country feels this way. Maybe they should let celebrities know that their endorsement doesn't mean as much as they think it does. All right, that'll do it for UpNorthLive Unscripted. Don't forget to join us tonight at 11 for full election coverage. We'll see you then.